Black Monday 2.0 or America's Liberation Day? Trillions of dollars wiped from the markets, global trade in chaos, Bitcoin tumbling, oil collapsing, gold soaring, tariffs flying in every single direction. And everywhere you look, panic. But here's the thing. This isn't just a market crash. This is the end of an era. Yes, Trump's sweeping tariffs may have triggered the collapse, but the truth is the system was already broken. The table was already set. The fall was already coming. For decades, we've outsourced everything in the name of efficiency. We've hollowed out local economies. We've centralized power. We've globalized everything and called it progress. And now the consequences are hitting hard and fast. But let's zoom out for a moment. In the 1930s, we saw something eerily similar. Economic fragility, protectionist panic, trade wars, depression, authoritarianism, and ultimately, war. Now, we're watching that very pattern echo again. Only this time, the stakes are even higher because today's global system is more entangled, more fragile, and more centralized than ever. Now let's talk about Trump. For some, he's the villain of the story. For others, he's the savior of America. And for some, he's just another cog in the machine and part of a much bigger agenda. But let's be honest, wherever you sit on Trump, this collapse didn't begin with Trump, and it won't end with him either. He may have pulled the trigger, but the gun was loaded long ago. By central banks, by global institutions, by decades of political cowardice. And yes, these new tariffs are part of Trump's America First strategy. But are they a high-stakes negotiation tool or a wrecking ball aimed at reasserting America's industrial strength? But whatever they may be, let's not pretend that they're a lasting solution. These tariffs are sweeping, poorly calculated, unconstitutional, un-American. And they come with very real consequences for consumers, for workers, for global stability. They may shake the system, but they don't rebuild it. And the libertarian in me hates tariffs. They're taxes, they distort markets, they punish consumers. But here's the tension that I'm holding. If the system really is rigged, then through gritted teeth, I acknowledge that this disruption could be the necessary catalyst. But it has to be paired with strategy. Otherwise, we're just trading one form of chaos for another. And what we're seeing right now feels less like strategy and more like economic destruction with the system on the edge of collapse. So where does that leave us? We're at a fork in the road that could lead to economic peril, or if people are willing to walk a different path, then we could consciously choose to create a civilisational shift. Imagine this. We move from global dependency to local resilience, from efficiency at all costs to regenerative production, from centralized control to decentralized systems, from mass consumption to meaningful creation. This is the real shift that we've needed for a long time, and it's already underway, and this moment could be a catalyst. But here's the irony. Many of the people who've long called for this transition, the decentralists, the localists, the resilient thinkers, the post-growth advocates, all now find themselves missing the opportunity. Why? Because they're still trapped in tribal politics, so fixated on who is triggering the change that they've lost sight of what this moment actually makes possible. Because this isn't about the right or the left, it's about vision, it's about opportunity. And we can either fight over pieces of the dying system, or we can rise to build what comes next. So yes, of course, people are scared, the markets are crashing, and the old world is burning. But don't let fear write your story. This isn't a time to just survive. It's a time to see clearly, to think systemically, to act intelligently, and to lead courageously in order to thrive, starting each of our own lives. Because when the system collapses at scale, you still have your own agency. So ask yourself, how can I become more resilient? What am I still dependent on that's fragile? Where can I localize, decentralize, or regenerate in my work, in my wealth, in my way of living? This isn't just theory. It's strategy for individuals, for families, for entrepreneurs, for creators, for communities. And if you want clarity on what's really happening and what you can do next financially, then you can join us on Wednesday, the 9th of April for our Navigating the Financial Reset Emergency Economic Briefing, where we'll explore what's happening and what could come next so that you can be prepared. We'll look at what triggered this collapse, the most likely economic scenarios, and ways to position yourself before the next domino falls, because now is not a time to sit on the sidelines. The financial reset is happening in real time. It's time to get informed, get prepared, and take action because the system is collapsing. And in the face of this, the question is, will you be a passive observer or will you be a builder of what comes next? The future isn't inherited, it's created by those who show up. It's time to get to work. Please do share this and visit danastingregory.com/emergency briefing if you want to take charge of your own financial future. My name is Dan Astin-Gregory. Live free and prosper.